Too much on your phone. I don't like it.
Okay, well, it's just sitting there. It's not even...
Stinking phone. Yeah.
This story is called Miss Nelson Had a Field Day by Harry Allard and James Marshall. For some weeks now, gloom had blanketed the Horace B. Cemetery School.
No, the Horace
Smedley
Beast.
School.
The Horace Beast.
Horace B. Smedley School. No one laughed or threw spitballs. No one even smiled. Miss Nelson got very worried. Everyone was down in the dumps. Mrs. Bladsworth was so depressed he hid under his desk. "It's the worst team in the whole state," he said. Even the cafeteria ladies had lost their sparkle. And it was true. The Smedley Tornadoes were just pitiful. They were a football team, you see, and they were not doing well. They hadn't won a game all year. They hadn't even scored a single point. And lately they seemed only interested in horsing around and giving Coach the business. "Why practice?" they said. "We only lose anyway." We're in for it now," said old Pop Hansen, the janitor. "The big Thanksgiving game is coming up, and the werewolves from Central are real animals. They'll make mincemeat of our town. What's to be done of our team? What's to be done?"
You're not a very good story book teller, because did you know you always miss the word shh?
I'm sorry, I'm a bad reader.
Then why are you recording them?
"They'll make mincemeat out of our team. What's to be done?" said Mrs. Nelson. "We need a real expert," said Pop. That afternoon, while Mrs. Nelson was grading papers, she heard wild laughter. It was coming from the teacher's lounge. Coach Armstrong had cracked up. "I'll make us a fresh pot of coffee," said Mrs. Nelson. He'd gone loopy. He'd lost his marbles. When the coach had calmed down, Mrs. Nelson took him home in a taxi. "You need a nice long rest," she said. The next day it was announced over the PA that Coach Armstrong would be out for a long time with measles. "Who would take his place?" said the kids. When Miss Nelson passed by Lula's after school, a serious discussion was going on. "We need someone who can really get the team into shape for the big Thanksgiving game," said one kid. "Someone who knows how to get results." "It's too bad Miss Viola Swamp isn't around," said another. "Who?" said the kid who was new in town. "You've never heard of Viola Swamp?" said the first kid. "The meanest substitute in the whole wide world. She's a real witch. She'd have no trouble getting results." Mrs. Blansworth happened to overhear. She said.
Yeah.
"Oh, sorry. Said Mrs. Nelson, and she wasted no time getting home. After rummaging around in her closet, she found what she was looking for, an ugly black sweatsuit. Then she made an important phone call. "I'll be right there," said the voice at the other end. The next day, Mr. Blansworth...
the swamp.
The next day, Mr. Blansworth announced that there would be football practice as usual. However, whoever it is, said the guys, let's really give him the business. What's the business?
I don't know.
Treat him badly, I think. The doors to the coach's office flew open, and out stepped.
And in stepped
a lady in an ugly black dress. "My name is Viola Swamp," said the lady, "and I am here to get results." "It's Blansworth," cried the guys, and they laughed him off the field. "Oh, rats," said Blansworth.
No, grass.
"Rats," said Blansworth.
No, grass.
"No, it's rats, Gabe."
No, grass.
No, he says, "Oh, rats."
No, grass.
Okay. "Oh, grass," said Miss.
No.
"It's rats."
No, yes it is.
When you're frustrated, you go, rats.
No. Yes, you do. You might have heard it wrong, Gabe.
Said Mrs. said Blansworth.
No, they said in the story, and that they said, "Oh, grass." She said, "Oh, grass." Still, we're not saying that. We are.
How about we say, "Oh, poop"?
No. Oh, grass.
Okay, so Mrs. Blansworth. How could they tell? Just then the guys heard the sound of squeaky tennis shoes.
Squeak. My name is
"I'm Coach Swamp," said the lady in the black sweatsuit. "Holy smokes!" cried the team. "The Swamp!" The team's fullback tried to pussyfoot away. "Not so fast, Mr. Smarty," said Coach Swamp. "Wow," said one of the guys. "Did you see that tackle?" And Miss Swamp grabbed him and pulled him to the ground. Coach Swamp was a real expert. She put the team to work right away. The guys had never done so many leg raises. "More," said Coach Swamp. They had never run so fast. "Faster," yelled Coach Swamp. "This is murder," said the guys. "Pipe down," said Coach Swamp.
Lie down.
In only a matter of days, the Smedley Tornadoes were looking better. Coach Swamp really gave them the business. Mr. Blansworth was a little puzzled, however. "Who is that Miss Swamp?" he said. "Maybe Miss Nelson knows. I'll go ask." Miss Nelson was busy grading papers when Blansworth looked in. "I don't want to disturb her," said Blansworth. "She's probably doesn't know anyway." Down at the field, Coach Swamp was having a little talk with the team. "And don't you ever think you can horse around again," she said, "because the Swamp will be watching." She looks mean.
I know she is.
When Coach Armstrong returns after his rest, he was very surprised at what he found. The guys played like a real team. "How did this happen?" said Coach Armstrong. Said the guys. They didn't want to tell him. On Thanksgiving Day, the Tornadoes clobbered the Werewolves 77-3. It was a great day for Horace B.
Coach
and the
Swamp.
Smedley School.
The Coach
And
Swamp.
I think I see Coach Swamp in the crowd.
It is.
Would you like her to coach you soccer game?
No.
Oh.
I would just kick her face.
What?
Yeah, I would.
Jeepers,
I would
dude.
just roll a ball with her face.
That's pretty heavy duty. Mr. Blandsworth treated the whole team
I would just kick her and she would just fall in.
to hot dogs and lulas.
I would
And
just
Miss Nelson
stamp her
went
face.
home and tried, tired and happy. Sometimes when you just have to get tough, she told her sister Barbara. And by the way, thanks for filling in for me. Anytime, said Barbara. Anytime. So was Barbara dressing up like Mrs. Swamp?
No, Miss Nelson was. Could look. Black.
Oh, Mrs. Nelson pretended to be Mrs. Swamp. Oh, she's a sneaky
See back
one.
there. There she is.
She's a sneaky one, hey?
Yeah. Oh, and look also.
She's got those same shoes.
Yeah.
Disguise. That's called a disguise.
Yeah.
Oh, rats.